Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to the channel. I'm Heather and today I have a local fabric haul for you that I'm really excited to share. It's going to be sort of a collection of some things I have gathered along the way living abroad, and some from a special fabric market that comes to town just once a year, and those are always really cool and special. So if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of fashion and sewing content, so definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and coming along for the journey. Lots of cool stuff coming up on the channel. And if you checked out my recent video on sewing for my Italian road trip, the next one will be coming out shortly here before we leave. I will be posting the rest once we get back, I've decided, just because that will give me more time to sew versus edit. But I will get one of those videos up for you before we actually leave for Italy, and I cannot wait to share the photos and experience with you actually on the road trip. So diving right in, I have maybe 7 or 8 fabrics here. I think I'm gonna start with the ones that I grabbed at local shops, and then I will get into the ones that I got at the fabric market. So the first fabric is one that I mentioned recently in a pattern haul video because I might use it for one of those patterns. If you missed that, I'll leave it linked overhead and down below here, but I have a lot of it. And it is this micro suede fabric in this icy blue. It has sort of a diamond cutout shape, square diamond, depending on how you look at it. And it's very drapey, and I just thought this was so cool. I found it being clearance dead stocked out at one of our local stores. I got like 11 meters of it. So there's a lot of it, and I think I want to use it for kind of a gown, something unexpected, something that would be really, really cool. But as I mentioned in that pattern haul video, it's probably going to be down the road sort of a project when A, I have a reason to wear a formal dress, and B, when I can afford to go get the amount of underlining or lining or both for something like this. It's going to probably take 10 yards to actually make. So that's what this is for. I'm very excited about this fabric. So the next 2 fabrics actually are part of that same clearance dead stock that was happening that I got such great deals on. And I don't know what it was I loved about this. This is definitely probably not the normal thing I would grab, but this really bold yellow with almost like a black and gold animal print on it. There are these gold flecks you can see through here, but something I just really like about this. This has got to be some sort of a viscose blend here. I think I have about 4 meters of this. I ended up getting a little bit more, kind of regretted not getting more initially and went back for more because, again, everything was like €2 for a meter. So I think I've got about 4 of this to work with. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, but I just thought this was kind of a fun, funky fabric. All right, next up on the list, last as part of that dead stock, is this beautiful, it's like a square pattern, I suppose. I don't know if there's a technical name for this. It's black and white. There is a minor defect in little sections of this where there's kind of like a white stripe, but it's not very often. So I actually thought that would be pretty easy to work around because it's so minor. Let me see. I think I found one right here. You can see kind of right here that little stripe that's happening. I don't know if it's picking up well. Right there. So that's a very minor imperfection that can be worked around, and I love black and white anything, so this might be for a blouse, maybe in the direction I'm leaning for this, but really happy to have this. It is another sort of feels like a viscose poly blend. Now the next fabric I have here is one I got at a different local shop that I kept seeing and liking, and I just couldn't resist, basically. I think I only got 2 meters of this, and I kind of imagine this being used in a white dress with some cutout paneling because it is kind of a sheer material here that has this embroidered pattern on it that I just thought was lovely. I could definitely see this either at the trim of something or like on a skirt or a dress that had sections that had this and then a plain section and then a section that had this, that sort of a thing, if that makes sense. And I really, really like it. This will kind of like some other materials be used for something special when I find the right thing. But I just kept imagining like a long floor length skirt with cutout sections of this in it. So maybe something like that, or maybe something will pop up before I get to using this that I decide I like it better for, but that's kind of what I'm envisioning, is this sort of almost easy breezy beachy boho style dress. So that is this fabric. All right, I've got 3 more fabrics here, and they are all from the local fabric market that comes through town once a year. I've wanted to film that for you all before, but it is chaos. When I tell you it is so chaotic, oh my goodness. it feels too difficult to film because every time I have been, when I tell you you are shoulder to shoulder the whole time at those stands, I'm not joking. It is craziness. So I've held off filming the experience, but it's just booth after booth after booth of every notion, fabric, pattern you could think of. It's incredible. So I picked up 3 this year. I don't go crazy, but I do try to go every year because you really find things that you're probably not going to see again. I really went floral this year. Maybe I was just inspired by the springtime. I know everybody always quotes The Devil Wears Prada about, florals in spring groundbreaking, but who doesn't love a good floral in spring? Let's be honest. It's timeless for a reason. But I found this material right here that I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there is a sheen kind of that overlays this fabric. Again, I think it's a viscose poly blend of some sort, but it's just got this incredible sheen that overlays the fabric. And I just could not stop staring at this. I have no idea what I'm going to make for this, but I just thought, wow, that is a stunner. So this was my first grab at the market. The next one is another one you might have seen in that pattern haul video and that you will be seeing in one of my Italy trip vlogs, if all things go well, because it's one of the main things I'm trying to make for Italy. But that is this beautiful pink floral. Again, it's kind of a silky poly blend. It's in this bold hot pink with blue and white, and I fell in love with it immediately. I love the color. I feel like this is a good color for me, and it's such a happy color. So I grabbed 4 meters of this and ended up needing just that for the dress I'm going to make with it, which I'll put overhead, or I'll put a picture here of the dress I'm planning to make, and that will be hopefully in an upcoming video for the Italy trip. Okay, so the last fabric I have is from the market, and this was the last thing I saw and grabbed. And when I saw it, they actually had it made up as a collared button-down dress in front of the stand, and I went nuts for it. I mean, would I have just bought that dress for myself if I saw it out? Absolutely. But what's the fun in that? I need to make something. So I just asked if I could get the fabric, if they still had it, and it's right here. It is a linen viscose, but it has, I think, heavier on the linen content on this. But I love the color palette in this. It just telling you when the sun caught it and it was hanging there, it was so incredibly stunning. I can't remember if I grabbed 3 or 4 meters of this, but it's usually kind of my go-to for having options. So I can't wait to make something in this. Truthfully, I loved what they did so much. I will probably do something similar-ish just because that's how much I liked it. But I can always have a little more control over the pattern and decide what's exactly right for me, but probably some sort of a button-down dress in this fabric. So it is always so fun shopping local fabrics because you find really special, unique pieces. It also makes them harder to cut into because you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes and that you find something really special for that. But I'm definitely excited to use all of these. Now going forward, I really am going to try to cut back on fabric buying. I have a huge stash and I need to start going through that, but I will be shopping my own stash with some of these fabulous fabrics. If you have any favorites, please let me know. I would love to know what you think down in the comments, and please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps the channel out and I super appreciate that. I hope you have a great rest of the week and I will see you soon. Bye.